Hey guys, and welcome back to the TEC Gauntlet Season 1 powered by WB Black and AMD Ryzen Radiant. We're back with another day filled with action, and we are now in the first half. So let's have a quick look at matches that will be lined up for today. So it's only going to be myself. My name is Apollonia. I'll be your host and caster. Joining me on the panel, it is Ripbro, caster, and analyst. How are you doing?
I'm really feeling good, Apollonia. I've been back after a while, so looking forward to an intense round of games.
All right. And so you see, for the first half coming up, we do have Team Insignia going up against Global Esports. Definitely a match that we've been waiting for. And for match number 2, which will be the second half, that will be Force 1 Esports going up against Team Inazuma. So all 4 teams, they are from Group A. So we can have a quick look at the group standings and see where everyone kind of sits. I do know that Global Esports and Force One Esports, they have done relatively well, and there it is, Global Esports and Force One with 4 points each. If they do take the win, they'll be right up there with Godlike Esports. And now you got to look at Team Inazuma and Team Insignia, 2 points each for both of them. um Team Insignia did get 2 losses, so I'm not too sure why they have 2 points over there. But let's have a little bit of a conversation about Team Insignia. All right, so this team, they've just had a little bit of a roster change.
Right.
And Global Esports, they are one that is really difficult to definitely go up against. So Global Esports, let's have a little chat about Global Esports. So what are your impressions so far watching GE the last 2 times? Really good performance. How do you
Mhm.
think they're going to approach this one here today?
Definitely, when you look at a team like Global Esports, it's just quality all around. The way that this lineup is just filled with talents. You have people like SK Rossi, the legendary player who's capable of doing so many insane things in one game, coupled with the fact that you have people like Kappa, Hellranger, and Skill. It's gonna mean that this particular lineup is just so diverse and it's just so strong all across the board, but that going up against a team such as this is always a monumental challenge for any team, regardless of skill level.
Indeed, Global Esports, and you can see all of them just lined up there, Hellranger, ready to lead the charge. And let's have a quick look at the player spotlight brought to you by AMD Ryzen Radiant. And this time we are going to feature Lightning Fast. We know all about him. The Sentinel, the controller, he has picked up the Astra, and we did notice that he was one of the first to really use that. And what are your thoughts here on Lightning Fast?
Lightning fast. We've always seen absolutely lightning fast reflexes from this guy. Despite playing the controller, he has all the makings of an aggressive player in every single game that we've actually seen him play. Flicks all around, controlled, precise usage of utilities. The Astra pickup is going to be a bit more difficult for him given the fact that the cooldowns on this agent have been changed. They have been increased. Gravity Well and the concussion both have had their cooldowns increased. So it's going to be interesting to see how he actually circumvents that, how he deals with that, coupled with the new economy changes. So all eyes are going to be on him today.
Lightning Fast. All right, so let's head over to Team Insignia. Have a quick look at the team as a whole. So they do have a little bit of a roster change. There are 2 players that will not be present as well. So 2 new members coming in. Team Insignia, we have no idea how it's going to work out. But for the player spotlight brought to you by AMD Ryzen Radiant, it is Tippy who's featured, that Jet player. So um when it comes to Tippy, you can see, on his stats and everything, ACS pretty decent, looking at the kills. But for the fact that, Insignia, they lost 2 games, but they did manage to get a point. They did secure a map. So you know that this team fights hard, and Tippy definitely has to contribute to the success of that. looking at the fact that he is that player on the duel list. What are your thoughts on Tippy?
Looking at the statistics that we've seen Chippy put up on the board, it looks to be that Insignia have faced off against some very difficult opponents throughout the course of this game. It is unfortunate that they have to have two players who are playing their very first tournament matches today, and against a team like Global Esports, they will have to nail the fundamentals. They have to keep their nerves in check when they're actually going up against them in the intense match, and they're gonna have to always have that strategic diversity that you really need to beat a team of a caliber like Global Esports in that particular scenario. A lot of expectations from them, maybe a lot to shoulder for this new team, but if they can keep their spirits in line, I do believe that they can deal a little bit more damage than just making a little bit of a dent in the side of Global Esports.
All right, so Team Insignia, they are basically the new kids on the block. This is the first time that we are seeing all of them. They're on the big stage. They made it to top 16, so you know they've trained really hard for this. The fact that they did have a little bit of a roster change, it will put there's a lot of things that come into question. Will they be able to perform as well as they did before? Because despite the losses, they still secured a map for themselves, and it kind of just shows where they're at. And as for global esports, you know them. They strive for total domination. Wherever they can show that they are the best, they will do it. They won't give you a chance at all. So it's definitely going to be a tough one for Team Insignia, looking at the track record of both teams and knowing just what kind of a mammoth GE is. So let's have a quick look at the maps that will be played for today. Map number 1, we're going to have Icebox. Map 2, it's going to be Bind. And map 3, Split. So for map 1, it being Icebox picked by Global Esports, I totally remember the first time this map was available. Global Esports, they were that first team to kind of figure out and crack the code on how to approach this map. And then a lot of teams started picking up on it, and GE just tried to stay ahead of the game. And right now you can see that it's definitely one of their comfort picks. So having picked Icebox, I think GE is gonna give us a really good performance, and Insignia might just be a could be, they've got to watch their backs. It's a little worrying here. But when we are looking at map number 2, when we do see Bind, what are your thoughts? How do you think that's gonna play out?
Well, Bind is always a defensive-oriented map, and Global Esports starting out on the defense is going to mean that they will be able to carve out an advantage for themselves. But you do have to take into account that all agents have limited ability uses now because of the new economy, so it's going to take a lot of rounds in a row for a team to ramp up and get those full buys in tow. So it might be a little bit easier for the attackers to attack on this particular map given the new patch changes. But I really need to get into the game and understand how they're actually playing, what they're prioritizing. If they actually prioritize the abilities instead of the guns, that's going to mean that defense is going to be a bit difficult for the side of Insignia to actually go ahead. So I feel like the first pick on the Bind to be a team to pick up Bind means that you're going to go give away defense to the opponent team. So it's always a very risky move, but if you can actually hold them to a 4-pointer, 5-pointer, like if you can get 4 or 5 points on the scoreboard for your team on attack, it's going to mean that you're going to have an easier time on defense because you're going to be able to rack up even more points on that. So for Insignia, that's going to be the goal. For Global, they just need to play their own game. They just need to nail down the basics and just use their abilities and prioritize the guns in a better manner so that they can be able to, dominate over their opponents.
Oh, right. And then for the third map, we're gonna have Split. And if anything, Global Esports, they're comfortable on this map. They were some of the first some of the first few teams that really got comfortable on Split as well, because GE's been in the game since it begun, since the competitive scene here in Valorant was born. GE was right in there. So there's a lot of history, a lot of experience. And now we're going to go straight into the agent select, and we will be looking at Icebox map number 1, beginning on the side of defense. That's going to be Team Insignia, and on the side of attack, it's going to be Global Esports. And we did catch a glimpse of a few of the picks here, and this is going to be extremely exciting watching both teams. So, going into Icebox, map number 1, how do you think the first half is going to play out, considering that Team Insignia, they're going to be on defense? Can't speak much for them, since there is a little bit of a newer roster, players that we haven't seen before. How do you think Global Esports will approach this on the side of attack?
I feel like they will just play their usual game because this is an opponent that they do not know much about, and it's always safer to go for your safer picks, nail down the fundamentals. They're gonna go onto this particular side with guns blazing, of course, as you would expect from a team like Global Esports. Going on towards the attack is gonna mean that they might just rush on towards A with the economy that they're going to have on the pistol round. So a rush strategy always works out in favor of you in the early rounds for this particular map, and I'm not expecting Global to do anything different, especially against a side like Insignia, who you know that they might not be able to cope up with the pressure if they do exert that sort of unrelenting pressure on towards this side. So that's what we're going to be seeing right now. It looks like the Global Esports have positioned themselves on towards this A main area. They're now going to use the utilities to try and spot it out. The Silver Owl drone has spotted out one player of Insignia near that A side region. Gravity holding up onto the top. G lightning fast, getting into a very, very advanced position with the Sage here. He's not playing the Astra. He's gonna wall off A nest and go for a quick plant inside the Viper smoke. The plant's gonna go down. No one has any clue where it's being given off. Insignia, they do have members on the site, but look at this. Lightning Fast is the only member from Global Esports on the site. All of them are holding from the back here. Really good kill by Tippy on towards Skills, but he's gonna get taken down by Kappa on towards the site. Gravity now is the last player standing against three hungry members of GE. And Kappa's gonna be there with the third kill of the game. An interesting strategy by Global Esports in this entire round. They had only one member on site. That was a very smooth plant execution. Lightning Fast went in there unchecked. It was a bit questionable in my opinion because Insignia really should have been able to spot that out when he went in there. It was not until after the spike plant that they managed to take down that Sage player, nestled on towards that nest area in A. And unfortunately, the retake fell apart in the consolidated hold that Global Esports exerted.
Indeed, really good cleanup there by Kappa as well. Now we're gonna move into the second round. It is gonna be an eco for the side of Team Insignia. Global Esports with that 1 point. SK Rossi's popping off immediately. Make that 2 headshots on the Sheriff while Gravity waits for his victim. That's gonna be 1. Will he find the second? Not quite, as Hellranger's gonna take that kill. Now 2 members left on the side of Insignia. Global Esports 4 vs 2 situation. Make that 3 vs 1. SK Rossi taking out Hippie. A little bit of revenge there. But not all hope is lost. A pretty decent eco round for the side of Insignia. They did get 2 pickups. And now it's all down to Black Ranger as he's gonna move right across into mid. What a shot. SK Rossi's gonna go down, but it's still a 1 vs 2 situation. And the spike has been planted, going for the retake. Black Ranger, he might have just been spotted out by Hellranger. They have the information, but taking it 1 step at a time. A few seconds to play with. Hellranger just launching out that poison nade and taking out Black Ranger. Great use of, just carrying those, great use and investment on those guns there from the side of Global Esports. They did lose 3 members, so you can say as an eco round for Team Insignia, pretty decent.
Definitely, it would have been pretty decent for Team Insignia at that particular point in time. But now you look at the impact of the new economy changes on the scoreboard right now. We do have 1 person on broken buy, which is going to be Deadscope, and you've never really seen that before on any sort of round whatsoever. Schloxy did not buy the armor, interestingly enough. He's saving 1200 credits on the board for him, but it's going to be assault rifles and 1 SMG all across the board for Global Esports. They're trying out a different attack strategy here, pushing up towards B, all stacked over here. The wall has gone up from the Viper. The poison orb is also up from their end. Ines Tippy, though, not starting to spot out. Deadscope taking down SK Rossi, pushed a little bit too far beyond the confines of that wall. Now GE and are comfortably nestled in towards that yellow area, yellow container area. They're not going to peek out because they know that all the angles are being watched by vigilant members of Insignia. Do wallbang that particular spot. They do get a wallbang shot off. Hellranger wide peeks. Tippy just can't find a shot on him. Gets taken down. And that's going to mean that the kitchen area has been exposed. It's going to be up to the members on the ground for Insignia to try and circumvent this. Is a slow, calculated approach from GE. Kappa taking a little bit of a graze from the shot guard. Responds with a 1 of his own. The wall is going to go down, but the spike will succeed in terms of being planted. They now have the retake scope. Again, Global Esports holding very, very patiently on towards that yellow area. Insignia now gaining ground. They're now pushing on towards this particular position. The poison orb is down, but they did not spot out the killjoy traps. I am absolutely not sure as to how the Killjoy traps are not going to go there, but Lightning Fast mows them down with a Bulldog. It's going to be 1 versus 2 on the scoreboard for him. Lightning Fast and Hell Ranger versus Black Ranger. He has the Vandal to work with. Time's ticking down. He has to find a kill already. Hell Ranger was there in that particular position using the snake bite with the lineup. Lightning Fast just toying with the spray at this point. Hell Ranger is going to come in from the back, finish out that kill with a little bit of happy feet being shown by Lightning Fast in that particular point. Not using his weapon, using the knife to jump around, proving to be the perfect distraction for his teammate to pick up that kill. With a convincing round nonetheless. Unfortunately, that Molly push did not work out for Insignia.
Indeed, it was a little bit of a chance for Insignia to try and find something that they can, kind of grab and use. I mean, they did take up 3, but Global Esports, you can see just how comfortable and how clean they are. Even towards the end, how Lightning Fast, he was just playing with emotions, and his teammate was there to back him up so quick. But that's going to be skills kicking everything off. First kill taken by him. SK Rossi's gonna chime in as well. Only 3 members left, but Shloxy finds SK Rossi. Deadscope picks up a kill of its own, and now it's an even playing field. The Killjoy dangerously low, but Kappa's trying to do something, and Skills is gonna find the kill onto Deadscope. Now Tippy from above with the shorty, waiting for a victim. Global Esports, they're inching their way onto site. They've got to retreat that spike, go for the plant as well.
Player standing.
And that's going to be Hellranger finding Tippy. Shloxy, 7 HP. Not much to work with. Just going to toss that in. Hope for the best. But Global Esports, they're ready. And it was an equal round for the side of Team Insignia, but 4 points strong. Global Esports, they're satisfied with it. You can see their faces. They're not looking too stressed. This is how they want the match to go, and I think they're just going to keep doing that. Insignia, they've got to find a way to kind of read into the movements of Global Esports, but that in itself is not an easy task.
I feel like one of the main pitfalls of Insignia in this particular map is that they're not using the utilities of the Sentinels to great effect to circumvent a push coming out from Global Esports. That all the members of the attacker team, they're just getting way too many free rounds in by allowing themselves to be pushed up on towards those advanced positions. Insignia, if they do not take the fight to Global Esports, Global will always take site control. They'll always inch closer to you and try to occupy as much space as they can. If you do not take the fight, if you hang back, the retake strategy is going to prove to be very detrimental for you, because you know that GE on the post-plant hold, they're just extremely strong. SK Rossi, though, getting peeked out by Slopesy near that common angle. Really good shot coming out from him with the Vandal, but they're going to push the Viper's Pit in this particular position. Gravity is now stuck between the Slow Orb and the Gravity. He's going to spot out the gun barrel of Hellranger through the Viper Orb, and it's going to mean that the Viper's Pit has gone down. He's still very low, though. Lightning Fast finishes him up with the headshot. SK Rossi, though, taking down Deadscope, who was going in for that flank. The attacker Killjoy ultimate has been pushed out. The defender Killjoy ultimate did not find any detain. Slopesy, though, finding 1 kill on towards 1 member of Global Esports. Black Ranger holding back. Unfortunately, he can't support his teammate. He just can't find a push, an opportunity to push up on towards that particular side. He's gonna spot it out. Lightning Fast. Is he going to be able to pick up the kill on towards SK Rossi? He only has 6 HP to work with. He's going to be able to find a headshot, and it's going to mean that the spike is going to get defused by Black Ranger. Is it going to be, though? It's going to go down to the wire. 0.11 seconds on the scoreboard, and Black Ranger scrounges an round for his team with a valiant effort from his side.
That was extremely well played from the side of Black Ranger. What a high pressure situation. 2 versus 1. He knew he was going to get shot at, and he just kind of pulled back, got the pick off onto Lightning Fast, and finishes everything up by playing with that little block right in the middle. And that defused just in time. That was absolutely crazy. First point on the board for Team Insignia. Now, that is the kind of spark that we want to see come out from them. Very high pressure situations, but looks like Black Ranger, he came ready and prepared. Now Tippy's gonna find the first kill onto SK Rossi with that operator skills with a return down to a 4v4. And previously we did see in Global Esports going very aggressively, and Insignia, they pushed out of the defenses. They decided to go aggressive as well. They just gotta switch it up, be unpredictable. Like Gravity with a beautiful kill onto Lightning Fast with the Hunter's Fury. Team Insignia looks like momentum's in their favor. Hellranger's the last man standing, and Shloxy cleans it up. What a round for Insignia. 2nd point for them.
See, this is what I was talking about when we meant that Insignia need to play a bit more aggressively. They need to take the fight to Global Esports. They need to intercept the pushes coming out from their end. Because if you do not take the fight to a team like Global Esports, you're going to be in for one heck of a ride, because they're going to be able to push you up against the wall, and they will just force you out of sight, and they will not be able to, they'll not allow you to get in for those retakes. And this is what INS have realized. They're now going in for this aggressive peak. Tippy using that operator, pushing really aggressively here, takes down GE skills, but dashes a bit weirdly on towards the face of SK Rossi. He's gonna get responded to with a lot of knives onto it, straight onto his chest. SK Rossi's gonna pick up that operator, no worries. Black Ranger, a little bit of a scuffle with the Swarb there. Like, Kappa's gonna pull out the Hunter's Fury, but it's gonna be Black Ranger taking down SK Rossi, meaning that the advanced member on towards the side has been taken down. He's contemplating a revive on towards one of his teammates, but he does not know that someone's pushing on towards Nest with that rope. Kappa can't find the shot on him. Black Ranger's gonna be able to take him down. Lightning Fast coming in with the trade. Just can't find the kill on towards Slokesy, but G Hellranger coming in strong with 2 kills from the side of screens. It's gonna be him and Slokesy in a one-on-one duke it out contest. The spike is on towards the site. Slokesy now peeks on towards that particular position, almost lands the Viper's bite, snake bite on towards the head of Slokesy, who just can't find the shot on towards Hellranger, and he's gonna win out those every single time if you don't get the first initial headshot off on him. And he comes in huge with 3 kills on the board for Global Esports. A little bit of a shaky start coming out from their team, but Hellranger's able to pick up the scraps and clean up the round.
What a round, and in no means was that round close at all. We just saw a massacre, and Black Ranger, he had to pop that resurrection. Unfortunately, Team Insignia, they didn't quite get this round, and Hellranger there just to clutch everything out. 2 kills, and then making it 3 right at the end. 10 kills on the board for Hellranger. You know he is getting to work. IGL of Global Esports. Now it's going to be Tippy, very aggressive from the side of defense, and I do like this about him. This could be the jackpot, and he does pick up a kill, and he gets spotted out, pulls out the classic, but it's not going to be enough. SK Rossi returns that kill, and that's going to be 3 members left on the side of Insignia. Slokesy with the frenzy, making it worth, picks up a rifle. And now we do see Gravity trying to run and hop away for his life, but Kappa's gonna catch him with that Spectre. And now securing the plant. In comes Insignia. Now it's Black Ranger with the Guardian, I do believe. And he was just firing away. Kappa had to go for the quick plant, remove himself from that situation. Now Slokesy looking to just push up, get rid of that little trap there, and Kappa with the recon bolt. Black Ranger, he's got that information, and he's taken by surprise. Slokesy's gonna fall at the same time. 6 points and 4 rounds in the lead. That's Global Esports going strong.
Last round, Tippy used his Blade Storm to try and get into an advanced position in the backside of Global. He did find he did find one of the members in that particular position. I believe it was Lightning Fast in the mid-side area, but he was jumped by SK Rossi, who was holding the flank. A really good style of play coming out from GE. They understood that INS might be using a little bit of a flank strategy against them, and that's why you need to cover up against those particular gaps in your attack if you do not want to get jumped by any members of the defending team. So really good stuff coming out from them, and I feel like Tippy just heralded the fall of the dominoes, and that's how the rest of the defense of Insignia just fell apart really quickly. GE, though, again, mimicking their first round, except for the fact they have Hellranger posted on towards mid, holding any sort of rotation coming out from the side of Insignia. Recon Dart's gonna spot out the Killjoy. It's gonna mean that INS Tippy has that particular position intact. SK Rossi's gonna fall to him with the operator, but the res is there, no biggie. It's gonna mean that the wall is over there. He peeks out towards INS Tippy. He's gonna regret taking that shot against Lightning Fast, because that Lightning Fast shot on towards the head of him is gonna mean that he has to fall on towards that side. Gravity's now the only person remaining. Make that none at this particular point. SK Rossi back from the dead, hitting strong.
Now Slokesy, one of the last 2 still left alive. And 4 members of Global Esports, Lightning Fast going for the plant. 35 seconds left on the clock, and now the timer is against the side of defense. SK Rossi, he's gonna come through the mid area, and Slokesy just anticipating that. Insignia might go for the save here, or they could go for the challenge, but it is a 2 versus 4 situation, and it's not exactly ideal. We are still in the first half. Team Insignia, they might want to get to magic number 4 there. rake up these points. Now dead scope. He's just waiting, and he did take a loop around as well. And they might just sandwich SK Rossi here. SK Rossi, he might just get caught firing away 60 HP. He's going for the battle, and Slopsy's taken out by skills. Now SK Rossi's gonna turn around. Is he gonna pick up the kill? Yes, he is. And that is what you call teamwork, ladies and gentlemen. That is what you call teamwork. He knew that something was up, and he was backed up by his trusty buddy skills right there.
Insignia unfortunately just can't find an answer to the retake strategy, the anti-retake strategy that G have gotten themselves posted up for. And it looks to be that Insignia, they're really struggling to find answers against G's attack. And this is what we meant at the start of the game. If Global Esports continues their relentless onslaught on towards the side, if they just use that sort of pressure against them, the defending team always buckles under the pressure. And this is proving to be no different. You can see a really fast push coming on towards that B main area from their side. The Viper snake bite is going to mean that a little bit of time is going to be wasted holding back near that while they wait for it to go down. All members of Insignia, though, they're vigilantly waiting in that particular position, waiting for a push coming in from GE. It looked to be that Black Ranger actually contemplated a flank from mid, but chose to go back. The wall's gonna get breaking down. The snake bite gets put on towards the site. Gravity's gonna use those shock darts, but the wall's gonna reveal SK Rossi. However, Gravity with the really good reflexes of the Frenzy manages to take him down, but he has to deal with so many other members of Global Esports with just a Frenzy here at this point. The snake bite is gonna catch him off guard, pushing him out of position, and Hellranger is gonna be able to pick up his kill with the classic. Slopsy pulls one back, but Lightning Fast is right there with the trade kill and the spike plant. Global Esports look to be in complete control of this game.
Only a couple of rounds left till we gotta move into the second half. Team Insignia here on the side of defense, struggling with the aggression coming up from the side of Global Esports. When you look at GE on Icebox, this is what you have to face. Great coordination. They know every single angle, and this is a tricky thing, right, about Icebox. There's just so many levels to play with, and we just see Team Insignia time in and time out, getting caught off guard with a lot of off angles. So, with the next round, and then scope, just gonna wait very patiently. SK Rossi hopping around, doing what he does best on that jet. And now Hellranger, SK Rossi, taking this one step at a time. When Team Insignia did pull off a little bit of unpredictability by going hyper aggressive, that did work in their favor. But now they just gotta be a little bit more calculative and hopefully try to secure these last 2 rounds so the second half wouldn't be too painful. Tippy finding the op shot onto Lightning Fast.
The skill's getting down towards that op shot. SK Rossi's gonna be able to find 2, pushing on towards that site. Is he gonna be able to get a 3 here? Slokesy, he does not spot him out. He gets that kill on towards Tippy. How did you make that shot count? He's gonna get 4 on the board for him. He's sitting on an ace. Right now, the only person remaining is gonna be Depthscope. Make that an ace for SK Rossi. Throws out the Cloudburst up in the air in celebration. SK Rossi here, ladies and gentlemen. He has finally been activated. A little bit of a slow start throughout the rest of the game for him, but he finally steps up and shows us what he's capable of. 17 kills on the board for him after 11 rounds have passed on this game. Responding to the aggression of INS with an ace of his own. You lose one member at the start of the game, it's not gonna matter if SK Rossi's still alive here, ladies and gentlemen. Global Esports leading the charge 9-2. And it's going to mean that INS, they are going to have to make a monumental battle happen here at this point if they do want to win this one out. The Blaze Storm's going to come out from SK Rossi. He's going to take out Black Ranger straight from that rappel line on towards Nest. And now Lightning Fast along with the rest of his team members are going to push on towards the site. The Killjoy ultimate has been popped. It's going to mean that the defenders have to be pushed out of the site unless they want to get detained in that particular position. The retake strategy is not going to work out for them as they are going to have to push back into very unfavorable positions. Tippy forced to play on that Guardian at the second last round of the game. Lightning Fast, gonna contemplate a spike plant, but not gonna do it completely before the Viper ultimate, the Viper orb is actually fully done. Tippy getting a kill on towards Scales, completely negated by Lightning Fast with 5. SK Rossi using the blade misses a few of those shots, but Lightning Fast is right there. He is not gonna miss those shots at any point in time. And this is what I love about Global Esports. Whenever their teammates get taken down, they're so good at playing the buddy system that they always get the trade out on towards any sort of player who take them out. And getting a trade on defense is just always worth two kills from the attacker perspective, because it means that one player is not holding on to that area of defense. It means that you're able to take that ground for yourself, build from there, and focus on taking the rest of the site. And this is what Global Esports have done so well. That's why they sit at a 10-2 score line. Really comfortable. INS, they really have their work cut out for them.
Indeed, we're going to move into the second half of this map number 1, and it's going to be the pistol round once again. And it's really interesting to see what a team chooses to load out. You can see a whole bunch of light armor there for the side of GE. They're going to be playing defensive this time. Might just want to be a little bit more thick. Team Insignia in with the attack, Lightning Fast. He's going to be ready with that barrier, blocking off any potential attack A side. He's just firing away on that. Sheriff pops a reload, but there seems to be a little bit of a rotation coming in, and what an opportunity found by Deadscope there, picking up that kill. And now as he moves over to the B site, he's looking for that control. Now Gravity's up next. Scales, he gets tagged extremely low, has to back away. He doesn't want to go down just yet. What a shock dart from Gravity. And now Deadscope, he's challenging as well, but Gravity's going to be taken down by SK Rossi. Deadscope comes right into Kitchen looking for a defender. That's SK Rossi going down. Now he spots on Lightning Fast. Will he win this duel? Lightning Fast looks like he's gonna come out on top, and he does with the headshot on the classic. Tippy with the frenzy, and it's down to the 2 versus 1. Kappa, nicknamed Clutch Pass sometimes. Is that gonna come through, or is Team Insignia gonna take full use of this pistol round? It is what they need. They might just do it, but Kappa takes up Black Ranger before he goes down. What a pistol round. What a way to start off the second half. But hey, that's going to be another point for the side of Team Insignia.
And a point they're going to be happy to take away from this after that mess of a fight in towards mid. SK Rossi getting jumped by one member of INS in that particular round. Unfortunate stuff coming out for them. But it's going to mean that it's only one round on the board for INS at this particular point. And Global Esports, they're going to have to make sure that their economy is really intact for the next round, where they can contemplate going up for a full buy. You don't see any of the Spectres coming out from their side, but it's going to be full Spectres, full shields coming out from INS. They're going to mean that it's going to be an aggressive push on towards B side. The drone does spot out SK Rossi, gets taken down to really low levels here. Hellranger has been dinked out. It's going to mean that INS are now ravaging on towards the side here, cleaning off 4 members of Global Esports in a matter of seconds on towards that B side. Kappa's going to be the only member remaining. Throws out the recon dart. He knows that the position is there. It's going to be 5 members on the board for INS at this particular point. The spike hasn't gone down yet. It is going to go down on towards A. Kappa takes down 1. He knows that the spike plant is on towards A, but Black Ranger coming in with the Spectre versus the Classic means that he's going to be able to take out that round. 2 rounds on the board for INS at this particular point in time, but this is going to be the real litmus test for them as GE pick up the rifles for this quintessential round. If they do not manage to win this one, they're going to be staring down a looming spiral of defeat. So this is going to be one of their do or die rounds. The game is still very much in the balance. If they can manage to win this one particular round, it's all going to be up in the air. Global Esports, they really need to seal the cracks in their defense for this particular round.
Indeed, Team Insignia just bringing over that lead, and that is what we like to see. Now, SK Rossi, he's going to have that Marshall now Lightning Fast here with the Vandal, and he's just going to raise that barrier, put a little bit of a stop to any potential quick attacks coming up from the side of Team Insignia. Now, Tippy just challenging, looking at the angles, Lightning Fast, he's hiding. And we do see the spike being carried by the Sova there on the side of Team Insignia. Slow Orb comes in. Cloudburst from Tippy.
Oh, no.
He's gonna look down and he's taken out from below. Lightning Fast. So quick. True to his name.
So cheeky as well.
Exactly. And that's gonna be Black Ranger popping the heal for one of his teammates, Team Insignia. They're not too aggressive, but Gravity is gonna pick up that kill before he backs away. That's for taking my friend sneakily at that. Global Esports, they are a man down, so this does look a little bright for Team Insignia, but SK Rossi with the Marshall. Schloxy might just be the next target, playing with the feelings of SK Rossi. Who's going to come out on top? They're going to keep going at it, but Schloxy's backing away.
Schloxy with the proper decision making to not push against the Marshal of SK Rossi in that particular position with a Spectre. You know you're not going to be able to kill that particular player. Instead, you risk taking 101 damage, which you cannot afford in a 3v3 at this point. Kappa, though, wide swings on towards Gravity, who's just a little too caught off guard in that particular position. The Sage Wall is going to mean that Black Ranger has enough space to get the spike plant down, but Kappa's going to be there along with skills. He's going to take him down. The Killjoy trap is not going to get trapped out. I mean, it's not going to get popped, and Kappa calmly defuses while his teammate wants to defuse, but then they just leave it to Kappa anyway. But it's going to be a comfortable round for Global Esports at this point. 3 members alive, 3 members with assault rifles. That's going to mean their economy is going to be in a really, really good position. Unfortunately for Tippy on the side of Insignia, he's not going to be able to get a full buy. He has to get an Ult Dwarf to get his Blaze Storm up at this point. But for the rest of Team INS, they're on rifles, they're on full armor, they're on full ability loadouts as well. For the side of Global Esports, they still don't have a full economy as of yet, so it's gonna mean that if they do take this round, not only do they sit on match point, they will effectively cripple the economy of INS and will get themselves in a position where they can afford to drop a few rounds.
Indeed, and look at SK Rossi with 21 kills popping off. If you don't know who the MVP is, I mean, I've got bad news for you because it's pretty obvious. Now, Team Insignia, they're going for a very fast attack. SK Rossi having to pop the dash, but he does get caught by his tail. Shot in the head by Tippy with those blades and dagger right through. Hellraiser's gonna break the wall, and he's going aggressive. He might just be taken out. Spots out 1, 2, and takes out Deadscope. But Black Ranger, he pops the resurrection. He's gonna find 2 kills in total. And now Global Esports, they find themselves with a disadvantage. Not enough people on the ground to fight. All 5 members on the side of Team Insignia, they're still alive. Shloxy and Deadscope simultaneously picking up those kills, and that is another point for the side of Team Insignia. So you see them, they're still fighting. Despite the scoreline, right? You can still see that it's very eminent in them that they're gonna keep trying, they're gonna keep going, and I think that's the beauty of Team Insignia. We do see the spark in them. But Global Esports, you gotta say, they're still way more consistent, and it's still a very dominating scoreline. But hey, Team Insignia, that's what we like to see. We're coming onto that B-side, just so aggressive, watching their backs and anticipating everything that G was trying to do.
It's a valiant effort coming out from Insignia at this point. The attacking rounds that they've won have been no slouches at all. They've shown that they are capable of making those coordinated pushes. They've shown that they're capable of playing aggressively against a side like GE. And it takes a lot of courage and a lot of planning to get it done against a side of GE's caliber at this point. And props to them from taking out the...
Good attempt. Poison orb emitted. Here. Your duty is not over. One enemy remaining.
There they are.
One enemy remaining.
The movement isn't there. The spike plant has gone down to a half here. He's gonna contemplate the shot dart. Is it gonna hit Kappa? No, it's not going to, but Kappa is really, really low. He has to do something here. Gravity, though, taking 3 down. Never give up is right there, Sova. Getting pincered by 2 slow orbs. He does not give up. Getting 3 kills on the board for his team is gonna mean that Gravity have shortened the lead to 5 rounds. 4 rounds on the score, 4 of them on attack. 11 to 6 on the scoreboard.
What a round for the side of Team Insignia. Gravity coming in massive. And you just see Team Insignia now. It's almost like once the side swap happened, they realized that, hey, this might just be our better side here. Now we can control the pace. Now we can attack. We're gonna do what we can to show that we have it in us. Icebox, not a problem, but there's still a lot to work. They still have a lot to work on 5 rounds in the lead, Global Esports. They're 2 rounds away from closing this off. And Insignia, the time is now for the comeback, or it might just be too late. Ooh.
Definitely. SK Rossi getting taken down by Gravity with a headshot out the Vandal is going to mean the Blaze Storm's jet is not there. Gravity, though, picking up his momentum from the last round, taking down 2 quick, important kills for his team on towards B side. The Mollies and everything are going to get down to try and prevent a plan coming out from Insignia. Kappa is right there on towards that B nest area. It means that Sloxy has to back off. They're now contemplating a rotation on towards A site, but they're going to meet Black Ranger in that particular position. Black Ranger's going to take down TE skills in that particular position, but Lightning Fast right there on that mid side in front of Boiler. He's going to take down his contemporary at that particular point. Tippy now dashing on towards the site. He has secured an advanced position. Lightning Fast is now moving in from screens. He does not know that the jet is posted on towards there. He just can't find the shot on towards him. Tippy gets the drop on towards Lightning Fast. Is going to mean that Kappa is the only surviving member in the side of Global Esports. Is 3 members that he has to fight through in order to even stand a chance of defusing the spike.
Now as it's ticking, this is going to be Kappa right up there on rafters. And I do like the post-plant positions here coming in from the side of Team Insignia. The turret is going to spot him out. Tippy waiting patiently. Kappa might just go for the save instead. Look for an exit frag instead. Does have some abilities to work with, but hey, it's a 1 versus 3 situation. Kappa being a little realistic here. He's gonna give Team Insignia that respect, but Tippy doesn't want him to go. He might just chase him down. Kappa's waiting. And this is a round that goes over to the side of Team Insignia, but this little standoff here, Kappa's just gonna stick to his guns. I want to stay alive. I want to bring this rifle over. And that's a really good discipline that you see from his side there. But hey, Team Insignia, they're inching their way up, and who would have thought? Right now, the scoreline, it's getting closer and closer. Team Insignia, they've got their game faces on. They're ready. And Gravity, honestly, in the last couple of rounds, he's been stepping up massive.
Stepping up massive indeed for his team in this particular point in time. 5 rounds for attack for the side of Insignia. 4-round deficit they're now facing down against Global Esports. They really have to shore up their defense line here, but it's going to be an eco round coming out for Global Esports. Sheriff across the board with 1 Vandal. The Swarm Grenade's going to find out members of Insignia pushing on towards that particular side. The Sage Wall has gone down. The Attacker Killjoy ultimate is also in tow, responded by an Attacker Hunter's Fury coming out for the side of Gravity. It's going to mean that all members of Global Esports are not going to get pushed back. Deja Vu for the side of them at this particular point in time. Global Esports Rossi is now pushing in with that Sheriff. He's trying to contemplate, he's trying to find a peek on towards 1 member of INS to take a headshot and take 1 member clean off the board. Tippy, though, is going to find him down. The rifle's just proving to be too insurmountable for GE to counteract. Gravity again taking down 2 kills, coming in huge for his team. The Mollies are going to go down. Hellranger's just going to get hunted down by the members of Insignia. And my goodness, Apollonia, we're seeing a resurgence in Insignia at this point. They're looking so much more confident than we've seen them in the first half. Is this a reverse counter comeback that we're gonna see from their side on towards Global Esports? Their map, it is Global Esports map, and for Insignia to take this, if they can manage to take this, it's gonna mean a huge blow to the morale of Global Esports going on to the rest of the series.
Indeed, especially for the fact that Team Insignia, they're the new kids on the block. They just got 2 different players right now just playing in the team, but they're figuring it out. They know that they're much stronger on the side of attack, and you can see that aggression. They just had to hang on tight on the side of defense, but Global Esports, they are shaking in their boots right now. They gotta put it down. SK Rossi doing his part, taking out 1 member on the side of Team Insignia. And this is, it's shocking, but at the same time, you know that Team Insignia, that sometimes you can't predict what you don't expect. And they're definitely taking that element of surprise through. But SK Rossi, he will continue to step up, make that the 2nd kill this round. And we do see Team Insignia going in for the rotation. They lost 2 members, 1 in mid and 1 closer to the B site. Now Sloxy creeping into kitchen. does have his abilities available. Hellranger's going to be taken from the back. Schlogsy finds the kill, but still with the mana advantage, that's going to be Global Esports, and 35 seconds left on the clock. Lightning fast! Lightning fast with the trigger control! Tippy and Gravity's going to go down, and it's all up to Schlogsy.
He contemplates a peek on towards any angle that he can find at this point. He knows he's really isolated by all members of Global Esports in this particular area. Slow orbs are gonna go down. By the power of deduction, Global Esports have found out that he's on towards that mid side. They're gonna converge on him at this particular point in time. Slowsy's gonna contemplate a peek out, takes down Lightning fast. He's gonna get taken down by one member though. G Skills and them now fighting. G Skills manages to take him down. And the fragile house of cards that Insignia had built their momentum on has been finally exposed as a one-round win coming out from Global Esports after 4 straight losses have exposed the fact that INS now stare down match point. For the side of Global Esports, they have the operator, they have rifles in tow. It's gonna mean that it's a very evenly matched round for them. They do not have the disadvantage of going up against Vandals and Phantoms with Sheriffs at this point. SK Rossi using that wall to great effect against Black Ranger, taking him down at the onset of the round. That's going to mean that the spike plan potential for the side of INS is going to get taken away here. He's going to take down one more. He's peeking out towards every single angle that he can find. Tippy, though, manages to sneak a kill on towards Lightning fast. That's going to mean the slow orb is not going to be available for the side of GE if they want to go for that retake, but it might just be that they don't need to go for that retake at all. They've taken down 3 members at the start of the round before the round can even hit the 1-minute mark. It's going to be Hellranger sneaking up on towards Schlogsy, who takes him down with a headshot. He's been really crisp lately as well. And it's Tippy now holding on to the boiler area. Kappa. That peak is going to prove to be very costly here. And the round has been tied up to a 2-2. SK Rossi, though, he's not done. Jumps out towards Tippy. Doesn't understand how to actually circumvent that push coming out from 2 members. Uses a cloud burst in desperation, but it's gonna mean that Tippy and Schlogsy are gonna be able to secure 1 kill on towards that danger man SK Rossi with the operator. They're gonna push it on towards an empty B site as Skills now scurries from the back to try and get a flank off. This is really tense. This is a do or die round for INS. Can Skills do it? Or can INS keep their momentum? Are they gonna be able to do it? Schlogsy peeks out a little bit too wide here with that rifle. With the knife, I mean. He spots out Tippy with that amazing peek out using the rappel rope. It's gonna mean that Tippy has to be forced out of the site. He's gonna move on towards the catwalk area. That's the only area that is exposed at this point. He can go for the half defuse. The Blaze Storm is there. He hears that Tippy's coming in. Unfortunately, he misses every single blade, but he's not gonna miss the operator shot. The 3rd kill on the board for him in this particular round is gonna mean that Insignia live to fight another day.
What a round, Tippy! Global Esports, this is sitting on match point, so you know the nerves must be high on the side of Team Insignia. Tippy able to save that. You can see a little bit of a smile there coming out from him. What a play, really well done. And Team Insignia, they are definitely making Global Esports work hard. And who would have thought? We have top 16 teams. Team Insignia, this is the first that we are getting to know them, and an impression they are leaving indeed. Now, SK Rossi, dead scope, manages to dodge a shot, but lightning fast with the Marshall. He's gonna find a headshot. SK Rossi with the daggers. It looks like Global Esports is angry, and now the lockdown has been put. SK Rossi trying to run for his life, couldn't quite get the kill off to Schlogsy, so he gets taken down instead. Lightning fast does get hit with the lockdown, detained for a little bit there, and out comes Viper's Pit. Schlogsy on site, just gotta pop that quick reload. And Black Ranger securing the plant. It's down to this 4 versus 4 situation. But Deadscope and Black Ranger, they will find a kill each. And Deadscope picks up a kill on Lightning Fast, making that the 2nd. Kappa finds one, but that's gonna be another round for the side of Insignia. And now they finally hit double digits. 10-12. Now, we stopped at the first half with the scoreline being 10-2. In favor of Global Esports, and look at how much has changed Team Insignia. They are a force to be reckoned with when it comes to them on the attacking side here on Icebox, looks like they might just know as much as Global Esports, and they have a lot more synergy than we thought.
A lot more synergy than we thought. Indeed, in this particular point in time, they're now sitting at 10 to 12. It means that only 2 rounds before we go into overtime, Global Esports are going to be looking to make that not happen. At this point, if we do see that the rifles are going to come out with the operator on towards SK Rossi, they're going to have to pull something magical out here because INS, they're looking to take this game by the bag here at this point. They want the 2 rounds on the score. They want this to go to OT. Even if they do lose out this game, they have made a statement at this point, but hey, look, we're not going to go down without a fight. We'll only go down swinging at this point. And Global Esports, you need to take us seriously if you want to win out against us. And that is exactly what Global Esports are going to do. They're holding a very, very defensive, disciplined defensive line all across the map. They're not making an over rotation, but INS have already gotten themselves onto a position onto the sites here. A site is going to be point of attack for their side. Lightning Fast still contemplating a push coming in from that particular position. He's speculating that INS is going to push in, but there's no member in that particular position. The recon dart's not going to spot out anyone. Black Ranger's going to take down one of Killjoy's traps. It's going to mean that the attack has been initiated. INS have made their location known. GE have the information, and it's going to be a rotation coming out from their side. The spike is going to get planted down. The retake is on, though. Global Esports are now scurrying on towards the side here. Hellranger tries to spot out a few members. Outside Gravity just can't find a shot on towards him. Skills, along with Hellranger, they're going to have to be very, very careful. They're joined by SK Rossi with that operator. The Viper smokes are going to go down. SK Rossi takes down Tippy. The spike diffuse is coming out. Deathscope can't find the shot on towards him. Gravity finds SK Rossi. Black Ranger gets found out. Lightning Fast is going to take down Black Ranger, but Gravity is going to come in. Trade for trade going out of the snakebite is going to push off Hellranger from that particular position. The spike plant has not been pushed on towards half diffuse at this point. Hellranger now starting to find Slokesy. He's going to get that shot off, but it's really, really little time on the scoreboard for him. Is he going to be able to get that spike diffuse off? Time is ticking down. He might not be able to find it. He will find it. 0.42 seconds. And a round that went down to the wire is what required GE to win at this particular match. My goodness, Apollonia, that was intense.
What a way to end. What a way to end a round off. Hellranger coming in big. It was down to that 1v1, 0.42 seconds. He got the defuse off, but that map was a lot more explosive than I ever imagined it to be. And let's have a quick look here at the scoreboard. Now, you gotta give props to Tippy. You gotta give props to Shloxy. You could see everything that they did that was, you know, it contributed to this, that success. You see, from 2 rounds to 10 in the second half. I think that's very impressive, but ultimately, congratulations to Global Esports there for taking that win. Now, let's head into the match highlights and kind of break it down and talk about what went on. So, in the first half, Global Esports, they were on the attacking side, and they came in guns blazing. They were quick, they were aggressive. Team Insignia managed to take 2 rounds, and that was them being very unpredictable, but Global Esports were next to perfection on the side of attack. And then in the second half, when the sides did swap, we saw Insignia kind of get into that element to go from 2 points against 10 all the way up to 10 against 12, you know, fighting on the brink of death. Global Esports sitting on match point. I think it speaks volumes. Team Insignia, what they did on the side of attack was return a lot of kills and watch the backs of their teammates, something that we didn't quite see when they were on the side of defense. And Global Esports, it was almost like I wouldn't say that they underestimated Team Insignia, but they weren't as sharp, keeping, you know, looking over their shoulder. They also couldn't quite expect what Team Insignia would do since they were setting the pace when they were attacking. So overall, a really great match, but consistency is always going to be key, and Global Esports, they're still a lot more proficient and they have that whole package. What are your afterthoughts here, Ritbro?
Well, after an explosive match like that, I feel like we just need to take a step back and take a breather as casters. But looking at the overall landscape, spot on analysis on the first half. Global Esports really confident going up against INS. They just had absolutely no answer to the relentless aggression that Global Esports were able to put on all across the board on Icebox. And that is something that they're always proficient in. We've always seen them excel so well on attack because they know all the strategies. They know how to circumvent in any sort of defensive position that any of the defenders can actually put themselves in. And they themselves, Global Esports, are really, really cheeky with the positioning that they've actually done throughout the course on defense. However, props to INS. They did not go down without a fight. After that debilitating first half, any team you would expect any team to basically lose their grounds and lose their morale at that particular point in time and just absolutely give up. But they did not. They just took the fight to Global Esports. They understood that, hey guys, we need to hunker down. We need to go a little bit more aggressive on towards defense, on towards attack, and really, really pick apart Global Esports' defense on towards this particular map. And that is exactly what they did. And this was really, really strong coming out from them because it means that game 2 is not going to be the one-sided affair. This entire series is not going to be the one-sided affair that we thought it out to be. And that makes me really excited because INS, we've already talked about the fact that they're the new kids on the block, right? And they have a lot to prove. So getting a map or getting a close map against a team like Global Esports is going to do a lot for their confidence. And I'm really excited to see what they do in game 2. They shouldn't get disheartened. They should build upon the momentum that they've gotten themselves for in the second half. Unfortunately, they just dropped way too many rounds in the first half to make that more effective enough to get themselves a win. But if they're able to shore up those first half weaknesses, we might just see a different map in game 2.
Indeed, when you're talking about expectations, Team Insignia being the new kids on the block that they are, I thought that performance was extremely good. They just got to push themselves a little bit more because going up against Global Esports, it's not an easy task. And I want to see how Global Esports are going to fare in the next map because the next one is, I do believe, Bind, and that was picked by Team Insignia. So I want to see Team Insignia in their comfort. I want to see what's going to go on. They're no strangers to taking a single map, even if they don't take the whole best of 3 series. So you guys definitely stay tuned. We'll be back very shortly with map number 2. Remember to like and subscribe, hit that bell icon so you get notifications whenever we are live. Check out the links in the description as well. You're not going to be disappointed. And remember to always look up for the QR code so that you can scan it and get your Ripple cans. So grab a snack and we'll be back very shortly with map number 2 after these messages.
What's this?
Hey guys, and welcome back to the TEC Gauntlet Season 1, powered by WD Black and AMD Ryzen Radiant. We're back with map number 2 between Global Esports and Team Insignia. Map 1 was explosive, very close scoreline, 10-13 in favor of Global Esports. So let's head quickly into the map screen and have a look at which map will be up next. So map number 1 taken by Global Esports, it was also picked by them. And there you can see the scoreline 13-10. Now, we're going to move on to map 2, and that is Bind, picked by Team Insignia. Now, looking at their performance, right, and the potential that they had in map 1, how do you think map 2 is going to play out here, Ripro?
I feel like for the side of Insignia, they're starting off on the back foot because you see that defense has gone to Global Esports. As they picked up the map, they had to give up the side control, side pick selection to Global Esports. So I feel like Bind being a defensive-oriented map is going to mean that Global will have the advantage going into it. If they manage to put up, let's say, a 9 or 8 round score on the scoreboard for themselves. But for the side of Insignia, if they can manage to get 5 or even 6 rounds on the board for their side, they're going to have an easier time on this map because they'll be on defense in the second half. At a 5 round, at least a 5-point round in the first half is what you need to be in a safe position on Bind, because you know you're going to pick up more rounds on defense than on attack. However, we do have the fact that smokes and all abilities are now costlier to buy in this particular patch. The new patch has shaken up a lot of the meta at this point, so it's gonna mean that the ability usage has to be on point. You see that 2-controller meta being picked up right now by both these teams. However, Insignia choosing to go for the Astra. She's been recently nerfed. The cooldown on her on her gravity well and her concussion has been increased to 25 seconds, which means that you're not going to have that available to you throughout the rest of the game as much as you would want to. So you might not be able to use it on one instance of attack when the attackers are pushing on towards the site. So if you're on defense, it's going to mean that you have less of a utility to use it with, and on attack, it means that you won't be able to use it as frequently as you would to flush out defenders from those hiding spots on the map that Bind is infamously known for. But for the side of Global Esports, they picked up a Brimstone, which was a really good pick back when Astra wasn't released. So I feel like with these nerfs to the agents that we've seen so far happening, it might just herald the return of the Brimstone. But it's going to be up to Global Esports to fare how they actually make this one work. Will they be able to build on the momentum of Game 1 despite a shaky start due to the valiant effort put up by INS, or will they succumb to the pressure of INS at this particular point? Will INS finally find their footing against a team like Global Esports? We're just going to have to find out.
All right, beginning on the side of defense, that's going to be Global Esports. And on the side of attack, Team Insignia. So we do see a couple of light armors around. The barrier phase has been lifted and action is about to begin. So skills here on the Brimstone. I want to see how he's going to utilize this. And SK Rossi with the one tap there, he's just going to take Tippy's head off. Now we do see Shloxy here just trying to get rid of that out drone. I do believe it was dished out by Kappa. And SK Rossi looking for his next prey, but right at the beginning of this round, Insignia losing one man. It doesn't look too bright here. Now SK Rossi, he's gonna take that teleport and he's going for the push. Now Kappa is gonna find a kill, but Gravity takes that return. Black Ranger hoping to get that plant off to the B side. And SK Rossi, he's gonna find the third kill. Black Ranger takes out Hell Ranger before he goes down. And the last man standing is Shloxi, lightning fast right around the corner. And Skills will clean that up. First point over to the side of Global Esports.
SK Rossi, 3 headshots, 3 kills with the Sheriff, coming in strong for his team. A really risky buy for the first round of the game, spending all 800 credits on one weapon without any cloudburst and updrafts. This might be something that we see a bit more common with the Jet players in tow for this particular patch, given the fact that updrafts now cost you 150 credits, along with cloudburst that costs you 200 credits in tow. So that means a 400 credit increase in overall full loadout buy for Jet. So it makes sense if you just keep the tailwind and one weapon at the start of the pistol round and also retain that through the next round to build up your economy to a proper full buy in the third round if you manage to win out the bonus. So that is what SK Rossi is actually going on for. INS though going in for a full save at this point, but it's going to be a little bit of weapon diversity coming out from the side of Global Esports. They do have force buy on 2 of their members to make that 3 in fact. Kappa, Lightning Fast, and Hellraiser all opting for a Guardian and 2 Spectres. Right now though, INS, they contemplated a push on towards B, but they realize that the hold by Global Esports in that particular position is just too solid to break through. And this is what we want to see from teams playing on Bind when they see an insurmountable defense from the defending team. Unfortunately, Kappa takes down Black Ranger in that particular duel. Lightning Fast is able to take down Gravity before falling to the classic of Deathscope, who manages to take out a Guardian for themselves. But as I was saying, when you go up against an insurmountable defense from the defending team as an attacker, your primary objective in Bind is to just go for a rotate and try to draw out that particular position. But when you have people like SK Rossi covering the flanks and just flanking you with the Sheriff and just headshotting you to oblivion, that just goes up in the air and it just goes down the gutter, that sort of a plan. And SK Rossi again picking up 2 critical kills in that particular Showers position, completely negating the defensive hold by the attackers, and Global Esports are going to sit themselves comfortably with a 2-0 scoreline.
A great start for the side of Global Esports. Team Insignia, they've got to figure out a way to put their foot down instead. But I do know that the next round they will be coming in with the rifles, and that is definitely a round they want to, you know, secure, or it's just going to be really tough on their economy. Now, SK Rossi, he's got 5 kills after 2 rounds. You see that operator in hand as well as that armor. He is good to go, so they've got to be careful about that. But we do see 3 Vandals and 2 Phantoms from the side of Team Insignia. What will they do in this circumstance? We do see a little bit of crowding around the fountain area, as well as a bit of a push down B short. Now Deathscope, he might just go for a small rotation here, and SK Rossi's gonna take out Gravity, who was just a little bit too confident there, pushing right into Hookah. Doesn't have backup. Now Skills stopping the push on A short. It's really tricky to attack on Bind, especially for the fact that it's the only map with no mid area. And Skills, he will find a pick off onto Tippy. Doesn't look too bright on the side of Team Insignia. Deathscope with a return, and SK Rossi going down. That is the AWP, not available anymore. Now Shloxi sneaking in. Lightning Fast is gonna go down. Now it's an even playing field. Down to a 3v3. Skills, all he has is that stim beacon, and he is gonna spawn out. Shloxi loses the gun battle there, and Black Ranger picks up Kappa. Last man standing, that's gonna be the IGL Hell Ranger. And there it is. He spots out 1. That's gonna be 1 kill. Has the bud. Goes in for the blind. That's gonna be the 2nd kill. Hell Ranger down to a 1v1. Deathscope going in for the plant. And now the timer is up against Hell Ranger. It's gonna be a tough one for him to clutch out, but Deathscope, he wants this round for his team. Sneaks in through U-Haul. Picks up that kill onto Hell Ranger. Beautifully done by Deathscope, and that is the first point from the side of Team Insignia. What a round.
A really good round, and as you said, attacking on Bind is really tricky, but if you're able to use your smokes to obscure the vision of the defending team and sneak players onto advanced position on site, you can actually get the drop on a few of the defenders who are unsuspecting of your advanced position that you've managed to surround out for yourself. SK Rossi, unfortunately, falling in that particular flank with the operator proved to be really costly for Global Esports, and they lost out that round. That was a significant reason as to why that actually happened. He pops the Blade Storm in this particular position. He's contemplating a rotation on towards either A or B. Gravity, a little bit of a scuffle there with the grenade. Paint shells landing right in front of Teleport instead of on towards Hookah. No biggie though. Black Ranger has his drone. He's going to be able to clear out that particular position. But it's going to be the recon drone of the side of Global Esports. Kappa spotting out Tippy in that particular position means that Insignia are going to have to go in for the rotation. The Molly comes out promptly from Skills along with the smoke, meaning that they do not have that vision here. Gravity using the satchel charges to great effect here along with Black Ranger, unfortunately getting mowed down by Skills in that U-Haul area. That's going to be that a huge chunk, a huge bite of the attack coming out from Insignia has just effectively been neutered. They're now breaking the teeth of Insignia at this point. SK Rossi putting matters to hand with that Blade Storm, taking down the third member for Insignia. Tippy and Dead Scope now contemplating a push on towards A short, but they know that there are two looming members of G in that particular position.
Last player standing.
SK Rossi finding the headshot onto Tippy, and now the last man standing. It's going to be Dead Scope. He does find a return there. 1 versus 4 situation. GE, they've got this one. Dead Scope running into the teleporter. But GE, they might know better, and that's Hell Ranger there. Coming right around. And the third point for the side of Global Esports.
Third round on the side of Global Esports, and right now they're looking really confident in that particular round. They managed to circumvent the attack coming out from Insignia, taking out 2 members right out the board with the Spectre. Skills in that particular area, U-Haul, which is critical for side control over A. If you let any of the entry fraggers push on towards that particular side with their dash abilities, Raze has the satchel charges along with the tailwind of Jet. If you allow them to secure that advanced position, you've managed to have someone fall in U-Haul on the side of defenders. That means that A site is going to be significantly easier for you to control, and Skills, big props to him for preventing that from happening. Meaning that Insignia just absolutely had no choice but to contemplate a push on towards A, and they just fell right onto the crosshairs of the players of Global Esports. Right now, they have consolidated defense on towards both sides here. Insignia, again, they're repeating the same pattern of contemplating a push on towards the side. Notices that Global Esports have a very good chokehold waiting for them, and now they make that rotation. It's just a matter of how they make this rotation work for them, because they're taking so much time on actually executing their movement on towards the other side. Global Esports can respond in tow and post up 3 members on towards the other side where they're going in for that rotation, and you can see that happening here. Even though the smokes are going down, Global Esports already have their number as to what they're trying to do, and they're now going in for a re-rotation on towards the side that they actually contemplated pushing up on towards. Gravity is posted there with the Sheriff. He knows that lightning fast. He is on towards that heaven side, just can't find the headshot on towards him, and that's gonna be really, that spells doom for you as a Sheriff user if you can't find the initial headshot with that particular weapon. Skills though, blind firing on towards the cloudburst coming out from Tippy. It's gonna mean that Tippy is now waiting on towards that particular side. No whammo, no problem. Classics all around here. GE Skills taking down 3 members in that U-Haul area. It's gonna mean that Insignia do not have any semblance of a push coming on towards A side. The defense remains unbreached for Global Esports in that A side area for the 5th round of the game. They're now standing at a 4-1 scoreline.
You can't forget about Skills. Let's just have a quick look at this instant replay. What? Oh my goodness. 1 kill with the rifle, 2 with the classic, burst shots. Skills. And now that puts him right at the top there with 8 kills. You know, SK Rossi, he's getting a little bit of help there. And that was the question. How effective was the Brimstone going to be? But when your raw aim is that good, Skills, he's going to make that work. Now Hellranger does get tagged. That smoke does buy a little bit of a distance between Hellranger. You know, vision is blocked off. And Team Insignia gunning to push for that B side as they hover on B short as well as the fountain area. Now Kappa will have his recon bolt available very soon. The Hunter's Fury is also available. And there is the Owl Drone. Kappa pulling it back. Might just come into contact with Black Ranger. But here's the setup coming in from Team Insignia. They're going for the attack. And there it is. Gravity just bouncing in. SK Rossi. It's a massacre on the B site. And it's down to a 3v2. Global Esports still with the upper hand, but not quite as Dead Scope looks to make it a little bit more even. Now Skills, he might just let go of the orbital strike. Lightning fast, what a kill, and down comes the orbital strike. Does tech Schloxy, what a clutch! Coming in from Schloxy. Oh my goodness, that double up from Lightning Fast and Skills, that was a little bit of a mistake there, but Schloxy saw the opportunity and even dodged that ultimate. Insane round. Second point for the side of Team Insignia.
My goodness, Sloxy in that particular position, facing down an orbital strike along with the snake bite of the Viper, does not stop him from planting the spike. He wanted to go for that plant, but he just pushed off with that orbital strike coming out from Brimstone. Skills along with Lightning Fast just peeked out through Hookah. Unfortunately, can't find the shot on towards him, and Sloxy, my goodness, we've seen this sort of aim in Icebox. We're seeing it again on towards Bind. It's going to be an aggressive play coming out towards Tippy. He's going to use that tailwind to go in straight into the gravity well of the Astra, though. His own Astra, in fact. Dead Scope, unfortunately, mistiming that particular position is going to mean that Tippy is not able to push on towards the backside here. Skills using that smoke on towards that A short area. SK Rossi in a rare circumstance. We're seeing SK Rossi not land a shot. However, he lands the following shot on towards Black Ranger in that A short area, redeeming himself in that particular position. Tippy is now holding on towards Lamps. He's using the Blaze Storm. SK Rossi is contemplating a push on towards this. He knows that there's someone here. What is the exact angle? Hellranger pushing in. He's going to meet 5 blades of the jet straight on towards the chest. Dead Scope finds Skills unsuspecting in that area. It's gonna be up to SK Rossi, finds a shot of the on towards INS Tippy. And it means that INS have been effectively neutered again on towards attack, despite the fact that they won the last round. SK Rossi, along with all the members of his team, really taking the chokehold to a great height. And they now sit only 2 points away from securing a lead for the second half.
What a map. You know, we look at the scoreline, it's 5-2, but you gotta really watch the duels that are happening. There's just so much challenging. I will say that Team Insignia definitely looks a lot more cohesive. You can see the plans. And SK Rossi, he's trying to go for the shot, and he picks up one Lightning Fast there to back him up as he comes through the teleporter, and that's just Global Esports taking control. Lightning Fast and SK Rossi, they don't miss, and that is going to be the 6th point. Global Esports, they look like they're very comfortable in their element, and they did pull off a strategy where they went aggressive for no reason at all. It's just the element of surprise. And how effective was that? Very effective indeed, and you guys saw it for yourself. So Team Insignia, they gotta try and anticipate that a little bit more. And overall, looking at the team compositions as a whole, right? Red Bro, how do you feel about the composition that Team Insignia has here on the side of attack?
I mean, going in for that Astra after that cooldown nerf is a risky move in and of itself, but it looks to be that INS are managing to make that work, because as a controller, you really want to just obscure vision. That's your primary goal, along with side control that you're able to do with Astra, with that gravity well and the concussion. The main thing is that with Viper or even with Brimstone, you have these 2 mollies that can really negate any sort of push on towards the side, because these are abilities that deal extreme amounts of damage or leave you extremely vulnerable. For the Astra, though, it means that you just stop and wait for that ability to go away, and it does not really keep out the attackers from the site for as long as a Brimstone or Viper Snakebite, though. However, as I'm saying that, GE are just doing GE things, pushing on towards that side. SK Rossi gets taken down behind the box. Unfortunately, Dead Scope is going to find Kappa in that particular position. Kappa's going to find him instead. He was taken down to really low levels in the last round. Just like the last round, INS fall in a matter of seconds, getting shredded to pieces by that aggression showcased by Global Esports. Playing an aggressive defensive setup on Bind requires a great deal of communication and coordination from your team members. You need people teleporting in from the side. You need people holding every single angle, because you don't know where you're going to get peeked out from. And U-Haul is such an intense area that it just requires a lot of concentration, and you might just have a lapse in judgment and not watch showers too often, and that's where the attackers might find an edge, and that's how you win out these rounds on Bind. However, Global Esports, they're just so good at securing every single corner of the site I mean the map, that they just are able to circumvent all of these from happening. Unfortunately for SK Rossi though, he gets hit with a concussion and the gravity well is gonna suck him in, and Global Esports again decimating the attack of INS at this point. And again, INS fall to the might of Global Esports. 8-2 on the scoreboard. This is going to be debilitating for their morale at this point, Apple.
Indeed, but you know, we gotta remember what happened in map 1, right? 10-2 didn't stop Team Insignia, so I'm gonna give them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, but we have to see that Global Esports, they just shut down the last 2 rounds incredibly quick, and that could definitely take a toll on your mental state. But hey, Team Insignia, they made it this far. They are top 16 for a reason. They went through the qualifiers. They deserve this spot, and this is their chance to show us what they can do given their circumstances. Now Tippy is gonna just crank that Vandal there. And SK Rossi with the operator, he doesn't miss. Will he find a second? He does. It could be a third, and that is the third shot. SK Rossi with the triple coming in hot. Meanwhile, Gravity is lurking in hookah, and his trusty buddy trying to get a pick off onto a short, but man, SK Rossi just took out more than half the squad. 1-for-1 trade, and it's all down to Shloxy.
GE have Sloxy's number at this point. The snake bite is going to make him push away. SK Rossi bouncing up a little bit too far here. Lightning fast. He gets hit with a snake bite. He was taken down to a vulnerable level. That's why he fell to 2 shots, unfortunately, with lightning fast. My goodness, the lightning fast tap on towards Sloxy is going to seal the deal for his team. That's Kappa playing with his spray at this point with the bunny in the floor at this point. But it looks to be a really confident scoreline for the side of Global Esports. 9-2 on the scoreboard. If they're able to use this aggression and translate it well onto his attack, this could be a very comfortable map for them. But bear in mind, ladies and gentlemen, INS have shown us that they're second half kings at this point. If they're able to take this round, it's going to be a little bit easier. Gravity using that showstopper along with the blast packs pushing on towards U-Haul. He's going to be pulled in with the... Oh my goodness, he's gonna be pulled by his own teammates. Gravity well in that U-Haul area. Skills is gonna be able to take him down before he can even get the rocket fire off on towards that particular point. Shloxy, along with his teammate Deadscope, are now the surviving members of INS's attack. It's now in shambles as they're now trapped in the showers area. The spike is all isolated, all alone, little poor thing, just in front of the teleporter. They use the Cosmic Divide. Sloxy is going to take down SK Rossi, but not lightning fast. Lightning fast again with 4 kills on the board for him. Really dangerous with the Vandal, sidestepping every single angle and taking them down. 10-2 again. Deja vu of the first game, but if the first game was anything to go by, INS have it all in them to try and mount a comeback.
Indeed, you know, we see a little bit of a trend, but Team Insignia, 8 rounds down, Global Esports, they want to close this out, and it's really tough to come back from a score like two from when you move into the second half. And this is for the reason that, you know, you got to go through the pistol round. If that doesn't go well, the enemy team with 10 points, they're just going to inch their way closer to getting that match point. So a lot is riding here on the second half, but we will see Team Insignia on the side of defense and Global Esports on the side of attack. Just a quick recap: 10 kills for Deadscope, but 17 for both SK Rossi and Lightning Fast. Gravity immediately shot down to 45 HP. Lightning Fast trying to get those shots off, but he's gonna back away. Don't want to be sucked in. And Deadscope firing away through the poison wall. Not gonna get a shot off. Now Hell Rangers looking for another opportunity. He is carrying the spike on him. A little bit risky for him to be the first to move in. Is backed up by his trusty buddy Lightning Fast, and now Hell Ranger moves into hookah. And how will Global Esports go for this attack? Now this is the pistol round, so it's all about accuracy. You gotta get those shots off. Every shot counts. And now Global Esports, they're preparing for this attack on the B side. And Team Insignia, they're responding. SK Rossi finds the headshot to Black Ranger. Shloxy with the return kill. And Lightning Fast, he's gonna rain down from above. Just a jumping shot there. Skills finds the pick off onto Deadscope. Hell Ranger's going for the plant. Lightning Fast watching his buddies back, and Gravity is the last man standing. Not a great start to the second half at all for the side of Team Insignia. But for Global Esports, they must be rejoicing.
Definitely, it looked to be a real reverse of the first game when INS actually took the pistol round and then took the subsequent rounds in tow. And this pistol round is going to prove to be really costly for them, and because it means that they're going to have a half buy coming out from Global Esports to deal with a very broken economy at this point. Lightning Fast going in really aggressively with the Viper Orb against Gravity, taking him down with the classic. It's gonna mean that this is now an 11-2 scoreline for Global Esports. Phantom comes out from Lightning Fast. He's not relenting at this point. Gets down to 0 credits, but it's gonna mean that Global Esports really do want to take this game by the collar at this point and really seal the deal. You see only 1 kill coming out for the side of Insignia for their 2 members, Gravity and Tippy, and this is not what you want for your team at this point. You really need to seal in the cracks. You really need to have a consolidated attack push. With the classics though, it's going to prove to be difficult, along with those shock darts winning in on towards Showers here. SK Rossi getting the opener for his team. It's gonna mean that Icebox is not available for that particular push in. Sloxy is the next one to get taken down. Tippy is in an advanced position on towards U-Haul, hiding in the smoke, but Skills is just too good with his skills. Takes him down, and Gravity is gonna hide in that smoke area. He barely finds Hellranger with that classic, but Skills is gonna be there to take that return. And now Global Esports have put their foot down finally. They're not gonna let another one of those comebacks get mounted. They're not gonna let that happen. Match point on the scoreboard already, 12-2, and it looks to be that Insignia, they're just buckling under the pressure.
Match point secured for Global Esports. And they took that lead that they got and they ran with it, they pushed it. And now Team Insignia had dangling by a thread to think 10 rounds consecutive wins just to bring it to overtime for Team Insignia to have a little bit of a chance. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it is a slim chance. It's really difficult to do that. Dead Scope now. He is going to be shooting for his life. Not going to be able to find the second kill, but that's a 1-for-1 trade. And Team Insignia, you still don't see the fight strong within them. Here in comes the rotation. 2 members might just take a little bit of time to get there, but Hippie spots out that nade being thrown out. Kappa goes down, and so does Hippie. Now it's down to a 2v2 as Gravity picks up Skills, tosses in the nade, and it is gonna miss Hellranger just by a bit. Gravity, he falls, and now it's all down to Black Ranger. Will he buy a little bit more time for his team to try and look for a sneaky but yet difficult comeback? But Black Ranger taps onto the spike, and right around the corner, that's gonna be Hellranger once again, wrapping it up for Global Esports. 13-2. What a best of 3. Congratulations, Global Esports, for taking this win, and they have earned themselves more points for the group standings.
Definitely another convincing showcase coming out from Global Esports. They just ran through with that particular round. Despite the fact that INS were able to take down a few of the members of Global Esports in those defensive areas, Tippy using that Viper cover to get himself onto advanced position, taking down Kappa. However, unfortunately for Insignia, they just couldn't live to fight another day, and they just got taken down to 12-2, and 2 rounds were all 13-2, and 2 rounds were all they could put up on the scoreboard. But we're gonna have to like break all of it down in the match highlights and even in the game highlights at this point, because we have a lot to talk about.
Indeed, let's head over to the match highlights and talk about what went down there in map number 2, and later we'll have like an overall glossary on the entire best of 3. So this map 2 first half ended off 10-2, and then when we got into the second half, Global Esports, they took the pistol round and they pushed their lead all the way. You could say a little bit of a lot of momentum and maybe morale was lost on the side of Team Insignia. I don't want to disregard the performance that they did put up in map 1, because that was phenomenal. It was spectacular. Team Insignia, they have a lot to work around, but I will say that they do seem promising. A solid team of 5. Deadscope did show up a little bit more here. Shlokzi as well, but Tippy had a great performance previously as well as Black Ranger. So all these players had their moments. They know what they have to do. It's just that we could see there were struggles with the follow-ups. One member would lose their life, and the return kills were just a little bit of a struggle there for the side of Team Insignia. Strategy could be a lot more elaborate rather than a lot more simple, a lot more by the book. But hey, that comes through time. Overall, Team Insignia, they are a fun team to watch. There was a lot of chaos as well, and you can appreciate these teams that come around. You don't know what they're about, but they're so unique with the way they approach the game. And now, on the topic of global esports, Map 2 was a great map for them, and it just reminds me how powerful global esports can be on an array of different maps, and Bind is definitely one of them. SK Rossi consistently staying at the top with the highest ACS for both map 1 and 2 shows that he still indeed has his consistency. And of course, lightning fast skills, Hellranger and Kappa, all four of them, they do the setups. Hellranger did come in as well. Ending off both maps was extremely beautiful. He did get the last kills. So overall, Global Esports, they're looking in top shape. They're looking decent. The only thing I would say that they might have to look out for is the unexpected and adapting to it quickly. Because what Team Insignia did to them in map 1, they shouldn't have to go through that again. What are your afterthoughts here, Ripro?
Yeah, I feel like I am in full agreement with the fact that global esports were just taken a little bit aback by the aggression coming out from Insignia at the onset of the second half of Icebox. But it wasn't anything special that they did. Like you said, they were just playing a bit too by the books, and that style of Valorant has already been phased out by the competitive play that we've seen in other tournaments in other regions as well. And that's happening in India and the rest of South Asia, where you see players using newer strategies, new innovative ways to push on towards sites, new ways of comboing abilities, and it's all down to your teammates and how you play that. Global esports really good on the buddy system on attack. This is why you see them focusing so aggressively on towards attack, and that's why they take the fight so well. There's always someone to trade one out, trade one defender out in that particular position. Insignia were just not being able to emulate that sort of a coordination going in. They just didn't have that sort of cohesiveness going on towards the site, and before they could even see the face of the spike or get the spike plant down, they've already lost 2-3 members, and that is just not what you want in a post plant retake situation, especially when global esports is baiting you on towards the site. You know they have 4 or 5 members. You're not going to be able to beat them with 2-3 members on the board, especially given the fact that abilities are now more expensive, they're now more valuable, and if you do not create any sort of valuable play out of them, you are wasting credits. And this is where the game has changed a lot for a lot of these teams, because ability usage before, we used to have spam all over with flashes and mollies and everything. Right now, you need to make a play off of abilities. You need to make a play off of each and every single skill that you have. Otherwise, you're just not using it to proper effect. Global esports, though, they always did that despite the changes that were, even if the changes were not done in the previous patches, and they were able to quickly adapt. I did see a little bit of inconsistency in the gunfights between both these teams. I feel like that might be the death zone adjustment and the tagging adjustment that they've done in this particular patch, which might just throw off a little bit of the gun reflexes that players have been accustomed to in the recent patches. So that's going to be something that a lot of these teams are going to have to go for, not just global or not just even Insignia, but really convincing showcase coming out from global esports in this best of 3 series. First game, they did drop a few points. Insignia, though, props to them for making that stand on towards global. They're a really promising team, and I hope, and I really do hope that they find a permanent roster soon so that they're able to build on this particular success. But today was Global Esports Day. They move in 2-0 and they secure 2 full points for the scoreboard.
Indeed, I agree with everything that you mentioned. Team Insignia definitely promising. Let's have a quick look at the group standings. It has been updated, and congratulations once again to Global Esports for taking this win. And there we see Global Esports right up there with Godlike Esports, done with all 3 matches. And you can see that GE, they're comfortable. This is the ideal performance that teams want, to come in, play your first 3 matches, and win all of them, just getting as much points as you can. Now, Team Insignia, they're still not completely at the bottom because they were able to secure 2 maps in 2 of the other games that they had, even though they lost, they still have 2 points there. So they're not right at the bottom. Team Insignia, I hope they do come back for the next match with a fresh mind, going back to the drawing board, because I hope they can see their potential. It definitely is very prevalent. Now, this brings us to the end of the first half. Remember, this is the TEC Gauntlet Season 1 that you're watching, powered by WD Black and AMD Ryzen Radeon. Do check out the links in the description, as well as like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you can get notifications whenever we are live. Let's just have a quick look at the match that will be coming up for the second half. We just got done with Global Esports up against Team Insignia. That was the first half. So later in the second half, which kicks off at 7:30 p.m. IST, it's going to be Force 1 versus Team Inazuma. Now, this is one that all of you want to catch, because Force 1, they're ready. And Team Inazuma, they've had a history of being so good at competitive FPS games, and these members are now ready to take on the Valorant competitive scene. So if you guys just love some good old esports, come and watch the second match, all right? So we hope to see you guys. Remember, take care, stay hydrated, and happy gaming. Hopefully we see all of y'all later at 7:30 p.m. for Force 1 versus Team Inazuma.
2, 3, let's go.